Hey everybody, hit the thumbs up, share out the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into this. So, looked like today was the last day of court, day 6 for NATUREBOY.
NATUREBOY Bishop, yeah, he calls himself the NATUREBOY. He's accused of raping one of his followers and then distributing revenge porn after she tried to leave the call. The court resumed on Tuesday after being dark on Wednesday due to the judge having COVID. Moments ago, Bishop's defense team was pushing for a longer COVID break, and the judge responded by revealing that the defendant did an Instagram live video from the jail on Wednesday. Take a look.
This fool done went live on Instagram from the jail. I knew he had a phone in there. I knew he had a phone. There was no way.
Bishop was on a live for a jail call yesterday during which he indicated his desire to
Oh, was it through a jail
trials.
call? Oh, did someone call? Did he call someone on the jail phone and they went live? Or did he actually go live from jail? I need y'all to be clear on what y'all saying.
So the case would be assigned to another judge.
Where he at? What is he doing?
Trying to show him, well, I don't
Oh,
think
trying to get on the baseboard?
Yeah.
I'm sure, okay. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Bishop, I know you're doing everything you possibly can to try to get this case to go away, or at least get away from me, but that's not how it works. So, okay, we've got the feed going, so we...
You know, that's taken on the jail.
All right, there wasn't, it's interesting how he was able to post an Instagram live post from the jail, but somebody emailed my office that there was some post. I wouldn't go, yeah, don't talk about it, Mr. Bishop, it's not gonna help you. All right. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick break so we get the Zoom link, and then we'll resume.
Oh my gosh, his poor attorney. Did you see his attorney shaking his head? That tells me he had no idea, and he's disgusted by the behavior as the judge was. I want to bring in my guests. Let's talk about this a little bit. I have with me Corey Pegues and Dr. Jeannie Lacey.
I feel like they still weren't very clear on how that happened.
I believe everything is connected. I believe that you're God. I believe that the way I treat you is how I treat God. I believe you don't treat God, we don't praise Him as who God praise each other. The way I treat you is how I treat God. I don't put God in my mind. I put God in you. And I love you as I love God. And my relationship with you is my relationship with God. We are God. We're all one. We're one earth, one source. We all breathe the same air. There's one God. And in the middle of nowhere, they're flying into the abyss of darkness. We're all in one rock together. And we gotta get along. This is what I'm teaching. We can't keep fighting them, right? Don't let it keep that. But I gotta bring it on. I can bring see that. All that down right now, that's what you're gonna lose. That's what I am gonna do. That's what makes fun of you. So I'm looking at this like, okay, cool, this is what I need. I need press to get people to listen to me. Because when you keep saying me a joke, I'm telling them mathematics universe. I'm saying, listen, we need to eat this food, we need to get this much sunlight, we need to get out of the hood, put the guns away, it's what we do. Because we can't have hours. So we have to let two of them in. And this is my message to people.
It's in attendance at the call to veganism, nudism, and
I got your email. I did get your email, Shawnee.
polygamy, and he says he is God. Dr. Janie, you told us all about...
If the CDC guidelines are followed, is the thing, but if the CDC guidelines are not followed, he feels compelled to follow his own health and his own best interest. And so he is going to go to the jail and observe his trial there. He understands that his ability to testify, and I believe his ability to testify will certainly be encumbered if he chooses to testify. But at this point, I think he's going to take his own health over anything else. So I would advise him to try to testify or not testify. I do think that he will not choose to testify under these circumstances, but you can certainly inquire him and explain to him his right, because obviously that's what the court will do.
All right. Well, the trial's going forward. We've been through that significantly.
She's like, now I feel like as the judge, because she did catch COVID, she could have at least recused herself and let another judge step in for her. She could have at least done that, but she's like, no, this trial ain't stopping. We're not doing nothing like that.
We, just for the record, we did recess Tuesday afternoon for the rest of the day Tuesday and all day yesterday. We are back here. It is Thursday, and we are ready to go forward. We had a company come in and sanitize the courtroom. We have a machine, an air circulation filtration system going in the courtroom. I provided masks for all of anybody who wants them, spectators,
got the point, you know, before they knew that she had COVID, a lot of them weren't wearing masks. He was wearing a mask. His lawyer wasn't wearing a mask, and he's sitting right next to him.
Where's the shield? What's the? Okay. What did we do? Okay, put it over the mask. All right. Where is it? We get one? Okay, we have a face shield too. We have a face shield on. Deputies, are they okay with that?
He's not going to want a face shield, Judge.
He's not the one. He doesn't want a face shield.
He's not asking for a face shield, but
I understand.
he's indicating that the court is still positive for COVID, and because of that, he does not want to be in the courtroom. He's elected to take advantage of his own health. He's entitled to do that.
Sure.
You know, that's...
All right, just make sure the record is clear that I am not instructing that he leave the courtroom. My preference is for him to stay and participate in his defense with his attorney. However, if he does not want to be here, we will make arrangements for him to observe the proceedings in the jail courtroom.
But he does want to be here, Judge. He just
Well,
doesn't want to be
it's
here.
his choice. So I want him here. Everybody else is here. Everybody else is fine. Jurors are here, ready to go. Attorneys are here, ready to go. The only person that has a problem is Mr. Bishop. So that is his right, and I'm not infringing upon that. If he is uncomfortable being in this courtroom, I will consider it a voluntary absence, and we will bring him back to the jail, where he will put on his orange jumpsuit, and he will observe the trial from the jail courtroom.
He's a president, Judge, and he would just go ahead and go through
Not
his
your nice jumpsuit.
Yep. All right, Mr. Bishop, do you understand? I need to know you understand these things. Mr. Bishop.
Judge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this judge is very no nonsense. Like, she needs to be over that YSL case, because that judge, he been on bullshit. He been playing with their ass. She's not playing. I do feel like she could have added another judge to step in, because she does have COVID. Let's not forget that. She actually does have COVID. But the trial, I don't think, should be brought to a stop.
Mr. Bishop would like to inquire if the court would state on the record whether you're still positive for COVID or not.
I have no idea. I was
So you tested positive for COVID. Y'all took like a day off from court. You came back to work, but you didn't test. You weren't required to test yourself before coming back to work to see if you still had COVID. I think that's kind of out of order. I think that's kind of out of line, but it ain't. I'm not in there, so I don't give a fuck.
positive on Monday night. I feel a million times better today than I did on Monday night. But
He just wants the record to reflect that you're here in court. You could be potentially still positive for COVID, and his options are to be positive in the courtroom with someone who's positive for COVID or not.
all right, we've gone through. Yeah, I understand. You've made your record, Mr. Bishop. You've made your point. It's interesting to me for all sorts of reasons that that's your concern. But at any rate.
So Mr. Bishop clearly instructing his counsel there to let her honor know that he objects to her being in the courtroom. He's saying he has COVID-19 concerns. Apparently the judge had it, has returned, is wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask, and he is trying to use COVID as a reason to delay the trial. The judge has indicated over and over again that it's not being delayed. It's going to keep on moving forward. So while they're on the little break there, we're going to hit our little break here. We're going to be right back with more only on Golden, because the
You want to whisper in his ear? You're not going to be able to consult with him periodically. It's going to be a lot more difficult for you to communicate with your attorney. Do you understand that?
I do not understand.
Okay, well, your attorney can explain it to you. Also, you will have the right to testify in this case in your defense if you would like. You do not have to. It is entirely up to you. If you choose to testify, you will be subject to cross-examination like any other witness would be. If you do not testify, I will instruct the jury that they are not allowed to hold that against you in any manner. And you can consult with your attorney about whether or not you want to testify, but whether or not it's in your best interest, but ultimately the decision has to be made by you. So,
We have, Judge, we've discussed whether or not he wants to testify. I'm not going to tell you exactly what he wants to do so, but he wants to make sure the record is clear that his ability to be here in court, he doesn't feel like he's had any other option but to take his own health. That issue is not something he's just elected to do. He's indicated that he's not going to be here in court for someone that's positive for COVID. He's not sure. And so he understands that going to jail is his option until he comes to LA. He is indicated that he does not want the trial to start until he's back in jail. And I want the camera to see what's going on in his own trial.
okay, well, again, as I mentioned, he's the only person who has an issue with this. So the trial is going forward with him here or with him in the courtroom jail. That is his decision. Also, Mr. Bishop, if you choose to go back to the jail to observe the trial, you're not going to be able to change your mind and come back. There's too much involved. Time, it's going to take about 30 minutes to get you there, dressed out, and back Make no mistake, this is your choice. This is your choice. Okay? If you exercise your option to do this, that's on you, and you're not going to be able to undo it. You're not going to be able to come back for parts of it. So you either stick around and we finish this trial, or you go to the jail courtroom and you observe.
And Judge, again, he's indicating it's not a matter of his choice. He doesn't feel like he has an option, so it's not a choose A or B. It's a matter of in the courtroom because there's someone who is not the code. So he's asking, he understands that he's asking that we will just, not move that to jail, see this out, and you were just asking whether or not he intended to testify. Mr. Bishop, do you intend to testify and say, do you feel like you have an option to testify? I have an option, but I don't know if I want to. Okay. If you are, so you're going to have to be reported yes or no whether you intend to testify or not at this point. I don't know.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
we'll ask.
the judge has COVID. Yeah, the judge has COVID, Shawnee. Like I said, she could have at least asked another judge to step in for her. I don't know why that would have been such a hard thing to do. You know, the case hasn't been going on for 10 weeks. It's been 6 days. You know, you catch them up on what's been going on. Give them the rundown. Let them take over, and you take your butt home and get some rest and actually heal.
And again, I notified him of his rights on the record. I will ask him again outside the presence of the jury at the conclusion of the defendant's evidence, if you want to testify or not. If you do, you'll have to testify from the jail courtroom without having your attorney there. Your attorney will be here. Do you understand that?
No.
Okay, well, I can't make it any clearer. Yes, Mr. Kennedy?
I can just take things under
Yes, please.
24 minutes on the chicken, and then I can put the barbecue sauce on it and let it cook like 5-10 more minutes. Then I cook the rice. We right to the store. Are you gonna cook the rice? You want me to cook the rice? I'll cook the rice. I think I gotta figure it out. Huh? Oh, we're doing barbecue chicken, broccoli, and the rice and roni, herb. You know, I grabbed the herb and butter, but we have another box up there. You want herb and butter or the rice pilaf? The pilaf. The rice pilaf. Yeah. Barbecue chicken, rice pilaf, broccoli, and we went to Perkins and got a slice of pie each. I got the banana cream pie, and he got the caramel apple pie. Ooh, Wingstop. Wingstop. See, when I hit the lottery, that'd be one thing that I would invest in, would be a Wingstop. I would get a Wingstop franchise. I would do a Dairy Queen franchise too.
One, I just want to establish that we do have technology that would allow Mr. Bishop to testify from the jail courtroom and string that live into the courtroom.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
possible.
Yeah, I said you could testify from the jail courtroom.
Secondly,
Give me another snack over there.
You get a bag of purple Skittles? Oh no, they got a bag of lifesavers. Bag of lifesavers.
Gummy one?
Yeah. And excuse me, you need one of them small bottles of Modelo's? Oh.
I think there was some confusion earlier about the current CDC guidelines. We all know they're in the process of changing, but I haven't pulled up CDC.gov isolation protocols. If you test positive for COVID-19, stay home for at least 5 days. But then it counts day 0 is the onset of symptom, or is the day of symptom onset, regardless of when you test positive. So it also says.
You heard what I said.
Small doll and light baby.
Is he brushing past that bed? That's what making that noise?
You are most likely to be infectious during these first 5 days. Wear a high quality mask if you must be around others at home and in public, and don't go to places where you're unable to wear a mask. So it contemplates being around other people. It says wear a mask. We are in 2024, the end of February, beginning of March tomorrow. We are 4 years removed from the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. As a legal system, we need to learn to live with this. The state is asking the court to go forward and
million people across this world and country that dies as a result of COVID-19. There are people, the hospital systems are overwhelmed. My client, he gets one life, and he's elected not to be in the courtroom with someone.
Let me tell you, his lawyer is fighting for him at least. The lawyer is fighting for him. He's like, my client gets one life. Yeah, he about to spend the rest of that life in prison, bitch. That's the T.
Is that we don't even know if you're positive or negative at this point. You haven't taken another test. And so ultimately, Judge, his position is that he understands the prejudice that will exist, but it's not a prejudice that he feels that he has created by being placed in a jail court. He's going to go back to the jail court. Whether he chooses to testify at that point or not will be a decision that he will make. Because at this point, I don't know that he's made a ultimate decision, but he's elected to go to the jail court, and he will dress out in his own garb, and he will pop up on the screen and watch it just like everybody else. So we're ready to get going.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
We'll be recessed
That's
until.
that on that. They offered him a plea deal of life with possibility of parole. I believe it was life with possibility of parole. And then, if not, the actual, what do they call it? The actual sentence for what he's being charged with would be life with no parole. So he passed up on the plea deal. That's now off the table. So whatever the jury decides, it's going to be his fate. So he could have did them 20 years, enough for parole, and could have gotten out. But if he gets found guilty, he's going to be in there for life, and he will never get out.
Was taking me a while to get to, and I actually put it on the back
Shout out to Nick at Night.
burner as the last thing to do, just simply because when I listened to it when it was happening in real time, there was our word this, our word that, victim name this, victim name that, and every other word seemed like it was either the R or it was the name, and it was this and it was that, and so I knew that it was gonna take me a long time, so I got out the other interviews that was shorter that I can get out to you guys quicker, and then present to you guys this one. So, but I'm gonna put out everything that I see and everything that I witnessed. I'm going to release it to y'all. I still have not edited the first day of trial because each day is 6 hours worth of footage to go through, edit, redact, and all of them.
Welcome in, everybody. You guys hit the thumbs up, share out the video. Shout out to my mod. If they're in blue, they're for you as always.
Those things like that.
We're
So
still, going over the NATUREBOY trial. Today is day 6. I'm going to split this up into 2 parts. I promise I will come back live later for the second part. But these are almost 2-hour long videos. So I don't want to hold y'all hostage for too long at one time.
I haven't had a free day to do that. The free day that I did have, I caught up on some of the testimony. I still didn't get to all of it. So
It's documented. It's acting. Everybody's signing up. Yes, sir. And Bishop? Yeah, yes, sir. What's your birthday, sir? What's going on that is? This is crazy, because I don't know about the girl saying I'm rich, but that's just silly because I have the whole video of her Pacific. I literally have the video in my phone, like, we planned to do some education for black people to show them what we learned through music talent. So literally, she's got the video, like, so I don't come on, bro. Like, we gotta be like, how about letting people around all that kind of life.
Not to the, we're going on a trip to the Wingstop. Okay, let's go.
I said, Malia, be back to Malia. I would actually problem. She actually.
I hope y'all can hear that. The audio's a little bit low.
I said, why you telling me that? I was with it. I'm not against it. I'm totally. Look, what's your name? Contact for you. 939. Just go on and sit and check this out. Like, I want you to know that. And I want you to feel my heart right now. Okay? I did not. I would. Honestly, I
just talking.
I don't know how words be turned on me, or I'm scared to talk about it. What's being said about me is falsely advertised, bro. Like I really honestly on my daughter's life, bro. I didn't really money.
So let's just go through that real quick.
Okay.
You can not worry about it real quick, okay?
Okay, but look, if you're gonna have an attorney though, I mean you have a right there. I'm gonna have to get an attorney because this is bonkers.
Yes, he is facing life. Life with no parole. I do have a handheld. I have two handheld fans. One is bladeless, one has a blade. And it also, so the one that's bladeless is just a bladeless handheld fan. The one with blades is also a mister. It holds water and it mists out the water. They're both battery powered. But I wouldn't mind having another fan or one of those ones that go around your neck, the square ones. I really want one of those that I can just put around my neck in the summertime and just stay cool when I'm outside.
We're gonna go through with you with it.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. And it's just so that at the end
Hey, Shantae.
say that, you know, you don't want to talk now because you want to get an attorney. No. I just want you guys not to talk for myself. Okay.
Oh, yes, a rechargeable one? Is it gonna be on your website? It's a new item? Because we definitely will get things, the promomo going. We'll get the little promomo video. So I'm gonna start, when I do my uploads, I'm gonna start doing promotional videos in my uploads for Goldie Gummy and for Etsy to spread the word a little bit more that way. Speaking of Etsy, I need to go to the post office. Today is Thursday. I might go to the post office tomorrow. If I go tomorrow, I'll send the soaps tomorrow. Sean, I have to ship 3 packs of tissue to New Jersey, honey. People still, I guess they ain't got no tissue in New Jersey, honey.
We want to hear, yeah, but we gotta let you know all these rights that you have. Okay, these are my Miranda's first.
Okay, if you come from last summer, that's cool. Them kids will break your stuff now. But when you take their phones and them iPads and things, they won't cry and holler. Want to break your stuff. See, and I appreciate my stepdaughter because she is peaceful, she calm, she don't fuck with nothing, she listen, she's helpful. All right, y'all, back to the commissary. All right, Mo Better.
Let's just get through this real quick.
Okay, you really are in this obviously, right? Right, initial, just put your initial for me. Okay, you got an influence out on drugs. Okay, initial, the influence of high school education. Like 12, 14, you know. I did 12, but I did barber school, I was at barber school. Initial right there for me. Yes. Okay, you're right, so you got to write your name style, you understand that, right? Okay, initial form, please. Anything you say can will be used against you in court of law, you understand that, right? Okay, you have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned.
So I think right now they're actually watching a police cam of him being arrested when they kicked the door in Georgia. That's what I think we're watching. I could be wrong, but I think we're watching, well, they're watching in the courtroom at this point. They were watching the cam from the police, the video from the police thing and whatnot.
If you can afford a high level one appointed representing before the question you wish. And you may exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Okay.
I believe Velvet has 2 kids, but only one for him. Only one for him, but I think she has 2 kids.
And this lady says, I've read all these rights and you understand all of them. I'll be concerned about. Well, no, I mean, when you hear tells you didn't do it, I mean, we can't make you say you did it. No, what? We're not going to set up. If you're a detective, you can detect when somebody's lying. You feel hard. I should not out detail.
Man, he said you're a detective. You can detect if someone's lying. Man, people will say anything. Oh my god.
Understanding his rights, listen to the.
Oh my god.
At this time, if you want to talk to us, initial text, if you don't, then.
Yeah, if you want to have a Johnny, you can.
If you want to, okay, this is per your right.
I have nothing to hide.
Okay, then if you want to talk to us, initial text, and then sign below.
But just so verbally, you understand your rights and you do want to talk to us right now. Because I want to do the right thing and I don't know what's going to do. I got you. Just trust you. Whatever. I'll talk to you. I'm just trying to not have everything high. Look, if I go behind bars as an innocent man, like God wants me there, so I'm gonna be there. But I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever is going on here, like, I'll talk to you. I don't know what you guys want me to say, or I'm gonna tell you to try. Okay, now, you say you refuse, but now, what are you saying? If it says that verbally say it's right to talk to us. You said I'm gonna have to refuse. What are you doing? To talk. Yeah, I stopped talking anytime. Yeah, I'll talk. Okay, son, I'm accused. You're being accused, what I'm saying. That's this is crazy. Okay. So, this is all crazy, like crazy. What do you think? Okay. Obviously, you know this is because you're being accused of rape. Okay. What do you know about it? Who do you think did it?
Who do you think it could be?
Probably something this woman that's trying to get me back for something, for probably not something we were or something. But literally, I wouldn't be one. I got all these women, those all my women. Why would I be somewhere? I got like 5 women. Why would I be a girl? I'm a ladies man. I got like 5, 6 women. One little girl. They come to me.
Why would anybody accuse you of that?
Because they want to be mad at me. That's a lot of people that hate me on I have a lot of trolls. She sent me a letter with a court date. Look for what? For revenge. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, she sent me that letter. She sent me the letter. They sent me.
And it was signed by who?
It was just a court. It was a court. It was a court hearing that I had to go to see if she could get the warrant. She put a warrant out. She applied for a warrant. Yeah. And so I have to go to the hearing on, I think the 18th or something, a hearing or something, just to see if she can get the warrant. So I was like, oh, that's simple, because I didn't do anything wrong. So I was like, I got the videotape, I got everything. We got everything ready for the files, ready to show that that's not true. But she knows it's not true. And we're spiritual people, so it's like, to me, it hurts me because I'm like, there's no harm in my people. Why would you not think like maybe this universe is much better than so I was right, but I'm enforcing you.
Yeah, this must be them actually interviewing him, like at the police station or something.
You know what I'm saying? So let's start with some revenge. You saying you have some consent form or what? No, I have a video showing how we did. You understand? When she's like, we were doing the spiritual, it's a spiritual video, right? Showing that it was, it was really like an educational thing, right? And so I have a whole footage, like literally, like, and when she left, she was mad, and she just.
So he's trying to explain the revenge porn. He's saying that it wasn't revenge porn. It was an educational video that he had permission to post online from her.
Because what happened was, on my Twitter, when she left, I thought she was on the so when she left, it was still on Twitter. So she said, she asked me, she called me, can you take it down?
Chaos. Stop.
She just said, and I told her, it's my haters, you know, saying, you should get on it. They literally do everything they can to put me in jail. So we explained, okay, the allegation, okay. She said that, she wanted to leave, or no, she said that, you were upset at the face she made, and you started having feels to hit her. And so then she probably had to upset Molly, and so I think she was back and stuff, I think she's saying that shit. Now you have to play with it. You have to play with it. I'm saying to you, that's not even that much crazy. Video, funny of her. Everybody in the world, it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. I just can't look at her eyes. I'm like, bro, you were going to get your foot. That's why I'm going to go.
And she claimed that you were literally, and that you said that you were quality, and then she said,
I texted my dad. I said, you my property, I love you, you my property. I was telling him I need money, but all my women. And I tell them that because I love them. And my body was second one. You my property, I love them. And that's to make them feel like, okay, come.
Yeah, I believe they're either showing a video of it or they're playing the audio.
But not to make them feel like, but she only doing this because she actually, the reason why she had to do this, she was mad, but she didn't get attention from girl. It's all over video. We have the video where I said, I came here because I was taking any deal with me. I got all of it. I have every, because as soon as I seen that letter, I said, make sure you have all the evidence. And I was like, cool, I'm straight.
So you got a file of evidence?
I got a file. I got a whole file ready right now with evidence.
Where is it?
The guys got it. All the guys that's ready to right now.
Is it on the laptops?
Now, why you ask me that in the middle of this shenanigan right here? Because you know I'm about to wear Diddy ass out in a separate video, honey. Not him down there to the sex party with Knockout, and not Trey Songz and Stevie J tipping through, and not Kim Kardashian ex-husband being over there, but not doing anything. Ooh, it's a lot to get into. Allegedly.
I got myself, I can open myself up right now to show you.
and when you show me,
I want to show you, can I show you?
Do we have a phone?
I'll
Did your phone come with it?
No, whatever, I don't know where my phone is at, and I don't know where myself is at. What I know is that I have all the videos. I literally have all the videos.
Okay, so you made these educational videos. Did you tell her when you were going to post them?
No, we posted right there. We posted them together.
You posted them?
People like happy about it. She's crying in the video, like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like, any video you see it. Like, I don't have to earn. She had that two, some, three, some, all. Like, bro, we do. That's what we do. This is what we do. We do sexual education. I had all that, and I never heard the same literally. I didn't even know she came to my house. She's like, oh, you do. Like, you know, she, you know, issues with, you know, she's out there treating. So, when she comes to me, I say, oh, baby, I say, you don't have to do that stuff. Like, literally, when you come to me, you come to me. You're not watching, she's doing what you say. She show you something, and I know she's hard, I think she has to go back to the street. You guys are very young, so the power was going on, and I got the evidence, bro. I say it all my mouth, because one thing I do is with my everything. I'm all my all day, everything, because I know people try to say, so I have everything documented. But you know, you got a lot of mental stuff, absolutely, because when I put stuff out, I have to put it on my feet. And they hard. They go there and hard. That's what they do. But that's actually important. So what I'm saying is, and I guess this is part of the truth. What I'm saying to you is, that it's true. I got all the evidence to show that's not straight up right now. And I think I gotta send it to you. Like, literally right now.
what, so, what I was trying to tell the second question is, you know, that why does the next thing is happening?
Is that like, oh, this is a document, so basically, look, if you don't know who I am, I'm not even a I'm experienced.
Ooh, not the game soup allegedly. Ooh, Lord, she's not Buff Daddy. Not Buff Daddy.
That's what I teach. People don't listen to me. Somebody will grab the thing, see me attention, so they can be like, somebody will be like, who the hell is this guy? And that's what we do on the internet now. We do cloud chasing. So we smack each other. We all agree to like, you know, all right, this is what we're going to get attention. We literally sit down and plan it out. And literally do it. We're doing it out here.
Bitch, I can't, as a grown man, imagine being called down or dragged down to the police precinct and have detectives questioning me about my social media and what I do on social media. It should never get that freaking serious. Can we get Suge Knight on the main line for this Diddy situation? I am cooking barbecue chicken, broccoli, and rice pilaf.
Right now. So instead of me saying, so I teach you. So what is existence wrong? And so we create wrong. We create wrong teams. They love it. People wrong. So I don't like attention. And I feel like black people don't have a spiritual rule at all. And I feel like I'm that person. And I feel like I'm there way into spirituality because, like, I feel like society, I feel like I was going to become society for black people, for like people, poverty, like people with poverty, they can get spirituality. But my approach is aggressive because that's what the streets is doing. When I doesn't understand there's love and I want them to understand education, that I'm always teaching them for themselves.
Oh.
That's what I'm teaching them. My heart
They
is
just work for your laptop?
because at the end of the day, that's
No, they come up on thing, but on the iPhone, no have
Guys
it.
there that and the girl was claiming you are God.
I am not.
Get out the
I
kitchen.
believe I'm not. I believe that I'm God. I believe we're God. I believe everything is connected. I believe that you're God. I believe that the way I treat you is how I treat God. I believe you don't treat God, we don't praise Him as God, we praise each other. The way I treat you is how I treat God. I don't put God in my mind. I put God as you. And I love you as I love God. And my relationship with you is my relationship with God. We're God. We're all one. We're one earth. We're one source. We're all breathing the same air with one God. In the middle of nowhere. If they're flying into the abyss of darkness, we're all in one God together. And we gotta get along. This is what I'm teaching. We can't keep fighting. White people don't want to hear this. They don't, but I've been breaking through. I've been breaking, see that? All that down right now, that's what we on the news. That's what my name is. Like, they just on the news. So I'm looking at this like, okay, well, this is good. This is what I need. I need press to get people to listen to me. Because if you keep me as a joke, I'm telling you mathematics of the universe. I'm saying, listen, we need to get this food. We need to get this away. We need to get.
The allegations are horrendous. Oh, I hate when that happens. Oh, hold on. All right, we're back. Wi-Fi went out. My bad.
People start talking about me. So that
Didn't I give you the reverse of what you're trying to do?
like right now, when I leave here, I don't know. The press is going to be here, and then I'm going to be able to teach black people, and I'm going to be able to say, this is what I was doing this, and this is what I'm doing. That's my art. This is my art, and I have critics. Now people are worried that this is real, but it's not real. That's why I'm like, okay, let the police investigate to see that it's nothing harm going on.
But we're seeing, based on your videos, a pattern of behavior.
Right.
And we have something come along that says, you wouldn't let me leave. You told me I was going to stay here, and you're going to have sex with me in front of a bunch of... How did we take that?
Okay, this is how I take it. Watch the video. Just look at it, bro.
What video?
That's a video on my phone. I like 6, 7 videos of an educational video. When you see the video with me,
We're talking about the revenge. We're talking about when she tried to leave.
No. What I'm saying to you is, why would I leave with her if I myself was born? This is my girl. Why would I leave her? And then she left. She left in the middle. She just left.
First of all, she had to leave.
No, this is what happened. Let me tell you exactly what happened. Okay. When I was from after you always go to her, I'm like, you know, this is my girl. She's about to leave because she's emotional. She's emotional because we were going to she would be. We just got her. She's like, I need love. I don't want to. And you know, now I'm like, hey, shut up. You know, so I hugged her. And she's like, no. But you know, I do know how it is. Like, it wasn't no stop. No, I would never. It's like, you know, babe, chill out. But she's like, okay. And she texted her. She was like, fine. But then after we made love right there, she was like, it was no point at all. That's what she's playing. But that's what I'm saying. That is a setup. That is wrong. And that's what I'm saying to you, sir.
But we see a pattern of behavior based on the videos.
What? Really?
But I mean, domineering.
Aggressive? I'm an aggressive man. I'm a man warrior. I am a sheep. No, but that's my pride. That's my ego. I can be manly. I can be aggressive. That's my art.
I mean, what if somebody tells an aggressive guy like you no?
No.
And then the aggressive guy says you don't say no.
No. See, I know that's what it looks like. That's the figure of the black male, right? The black male's supposed to be like this, and if he's not like that, he's going to be offensive to people. Stop that, okay? I'm a man. I can be as aggressive as I want, warrior.
Yeah, they move that
doesn't
thing.
mean that I'm not gentle.
Yeah, they move it.
I'm not a gangster or anything like that. Online, people know me.
We get the
I suck my thumb online and play my ear like I literally am a sweet guy. Like, I would never harm her, and I could see her face.
Explain to me, what was she upset about at the time that she wanted to leave?
She was upset because she couldn't make it. Well, I'm trying to figure it out.
It's always the intelligent ones, Shawnee, that end up being alleged cult leaders. It's always the intelligent ones. You don't become a cult leader being an idiot. That's for sure.
So, okay. We had smack him. Everybody told him, we can smack. Okay, we can freak it out. She got smacked.
What do you mean by how to?
Like, say sometimes when I'm teaching people this stuff with him. And so we have to get back to each other, like because, you know what I'm saying? So she had got smacked, but she smacked somebody before. But she got smacked, she left. So she like, I'm done. I said, okay. Well, that's something as I don't tell this shit because you already know who you are. And you like, oh, I don't want to do this on my life. Okay? So I went to the social room. And she, yeah, she don't have to go back and go back. In and out my life, bro. She comes when she wants. She don't need what she wants. Everybody knows this, though. Everybody knows is in and out of my life. When she's doing bad, she'll go. But I think at this time, she felt embarrassed because of my blind. She went to everybody and she said, bro. Let me ask you, what if, let's say, you have, I'm assuming you want to know, I get that, and I'm assuming we have a relationship, we have, there's no, somebody that you have sex with.
We're not saying that she didn't consent before then.
Huh?
We didn't say that she didn't consent before then.
No.
Because we consent.
No, I'm saying to you is, I would never jeopardize my career. I would never jeopardize what I'm doing. I would never jeopardize. She literally came in the
takes me out.
with the bed with us, like we was all together, right?
Yeah, she must be at work.
It was like, that's foul. That's foul. That's foul. That's what she said. She said that she didn't. It was not at all. It was like, stop playing with this. We're not brothers. You know you're my brother. You're not one of that. We're really fine. But that's actually not like, so not like, not like, oh, you can't leave. Oh, no. I'm afraid that everybody knows. I tell the people, yeah. I tell them, no, you know why? Because I know I'm online all the time. I have everything online. And I say, no, because I ain't got no time to draw. But for her to say, no, that's just, I can't believe she would say that. You know what I'm saying? That's just things beyond me. Like, I'm thinking like, okay. Process. What about the, what was that girl, Malia? We saw a video where she tried to leave. Oh, no, Malia, she get arrested. I know she was arrested with charges. She shot at her, so she was like that. I was not letting her take my house up. I was going to stop her. I let her go. You see the video. I said, go ahead. And she went out like she broke my property. And then we got a block. And then you see, I was like, I closed the door and let her go down the block. And then she tried to see that. So.
All right, so I really want to go through all of this, but I feel like we should go ahead and get to the closing. You talking to me? Oh. I feel like we should just go ahead and get to the closing arguments from today. I'll play about 15 minutes of that and I'll end the live and we'll come back later on. Because I do want to watch Funky Dineva. He just went live about 9 minutes ago. So we'll play the first 15 minutes of the closing arguments, and then we'll come back later with the rest. Hold on with my audio. Oh, okay, no, where your audio at, girl?
The witness, or the victim's name and everything like that, but I see that apparently rules are being broken all throughout here, so I have been in accordance.
Neek says that she was told by the court that she had to redact the victim's name and she couldn't say the victim's name. Her videos couldn't have the victim's name in it. So she's been recording the live coverage and then going back and editing out the victim's name. However, I even shared a post and I tagged her in it. I was like, why is she being silent? But big media like Fox News is saying the victim's name, like Courtney, aka Mr. Cloud Chaser. So I guess in this live, she kind of threw it to the wind, I kind of want to say.
With the court order all of the trial, since I was told, listen, day one, you can't be streaming that. So I have been doing what I'm supposed to do as it pertains to that. Now, as it pertains to the closing statements, this is the end of the end. All the arguments have been said. Everything has been put in. There was several people who testified on NATUREBOY's behalf. There was Aya testified, Efru testified, some lady who said that she let the victim of the case go to her home testify. Jax testified, Juju testified. So all of these people have already testified. Prosecution and the defense have rested their case. They are now set for closing arguments. Can you guys not hear me? Somebody said no sound. Can you guys hear me? Press 1 if you can hear me. Because on my computer, it shows that my mic is moving. So can y'all hear me? Can y'all not hear me? Let me know something. Let me know what's going on. Let me check. Let me do a mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me see, because it shows for me that. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. All right, so this is the last of it. After they do closing arguments, the next thing that we are going to hear is a verdict. So that is the very next thing that we are going to hear. Now, if I think that the name of the victim is about to come up, I will try to mute my audio and then return the audio back. If there's anything that gets caught while I'm on stream by accident, then I will redact it after it gets posted after we're done. So someone in the comments says, who did the defense bring on? So the defense brought on Eferu, Aya, they brought on Jax, Juju, and they brought on some, call me now for your pre-reading lady who testified via Zoom. And I don't think it helped his case at all. You can clearly tell that they were lying. They were not telling the truth. They just looked like...
I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on. Damn. I'm sorry, you guys. I need to play this video first. No, let's just keep on going. Now, we'll just play that on the back end. Let's keep
They
on.
were under some type of haze and just, following orders and commands. I'm going to have everybody's testimony in full on my live. So, Skin Beauty Products, you don't need to announce what you're listening to. I literally just announcements. Like, here. Which one? Put his hands on her, how he beat her, how there's evidence of her running around and causing a scene, trying to escape. All of those things I'm sure they were going to impeach her with. She was the main one that they had a lot of evidence against as far as her health, being in the hospital, all kind of things. Like, she had it the worst, so it would not have been wise for them to put her on the stand. But let's go into closing arguments and let's hear it.
There you go. All right. And you still need to rest in front of the jury. Oh, motions. Are there going to be any motions on behalf of the defense?
We were just renewing the previously stated motion that we made to the rest of the state's case. Additionally, we would like to make sure that we renew the prior objections that we made during the trial.
Okay. Motions will remain denied. There's sufficient evidence for the case to go to the jury. So let's bring the jurors in, and I'll let you rest in front of the jury, and then we'll proceed with closing. State gets to open and conclude. And please, hopefully, you guys won't both take too much.
She said, hopefully y'all don't take all day. Okay, hopefully y'all get this done in a timely fashion.
Yeah, cause that bitch sick.
And don't take all day.
Probably feel like shit.
Yeah, I have a premiere going as well right now. Yes, I have an... Okay, they're standing up. The jury is coming in, looks like.
Like how she still got attitude and got nerve to be sassy and she got COVID. Lady, save your energy. Rest your lips. Rest your lips.
There's a little feedback coming. We're not quite sure what's going on with the sound. We're going to get IT in here to take a look at that. But go ahead, Mr. President, you get to open and conclude the arguments.
Thank you, Mayor. There's a line in the courtroom somewhere around that plexiglass wall. And the folks on that side, for the most part, the world out there, is interested in this case because the defendant's a cult leader. It's interesting, it's different. It's a reason that there's a camera in here, that folks are paying attention. But inside this line, in this part of the courtroom, it's what the defendant did with that power that matters. That's why he's on trial. His ideas aren't on trial. The fact that he's a cult leader is not why he's on trial. It's how he used exploited and abused his members. Specifically how he raped Janae Newell on March 24th, 2022. That's the reason we're here this week. As Judge Hyder said, the state has the opportunity to address you both first and last. And that is because we have the burden of proof in this case. And I'm going to use the first half of the closing.
Yeah, we're on closing arguments, guys.
Applies to this case. And I'll sit down. First half's not going to be that long. Mr. Covergirl will get an opportunity to address you. And then we'll get back up again and explain how we think the facts you've heard this week fit into the law. One element of the law that Judge Hyder will go over with you is that the testimony of a single witness, if you believe that person, is enough to establish a fact. And that means prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. If you believe what somebody said from that witness stand, that's enough under the law. The law doesn't require corroboration. The law doesn't require scientific evidence, another witness to come in. The judge will say a single witness, if you believe them, is enough to establish a fact. So if you believe Janae, if you believe what she told you, it's enough. Now we have a lot of other corroborating, supporting evidence in this case. We have a lot of other people who experienced similar things, who have told you what they experienced this week. But under the law, if you believe Janae, that's enough. Now, that as a concept, it's sort of this abstract concept, but let's put it in practice for a minute. Another law, the judge will tell you, another thing, is that venue has to be proven by the state, like any other element of the crime. And venue just means that we try crime before they happen. Did this happen in DeKalb County? And that's a fact that must be proved by the state. But this week, the state, we didn't bring in the tax assessor for DeKalb County to get out a big chart and map and say, you know, Arbor Chase is in DeKalb County. We simply had witnesses testify. Was that all they?
I could not imagine being a lawyer because I am argumentative, and that'd be right up my alley. And the judge would be just kicking me out of court every other day, putting me in lockup for 5 hours for being out of order.
DeKalb County, yes. Where was that home? Was it in DeKalb County? That's enough. So again, today's testimony by itself is enough. Count 1 of the indictment charges the defendant with rape. Rape is carnal knowledge of a female forcibly and against her will. And so let's break down each of those three elements. Carnal knowledge, female forcibly and against her will. Carnal knowledge means sexual intercourse. Okay? In this case, there's not even really a dispute whether sexual intercourse occurred. It was the other elements of rape. Forcibly, and the judge will tell you, the law is that lack of resistance obtained through fear or intimidation is force. Scaring somebody into having sex, not allowing them to leave in that moment, that's rape. That's force. That satisfies that force element of rape. So in intimidation, and nowhere will it say that intimidation has to be explicit and verbal and yelling. It can be known from living in that environment for that period of time and knowing what happens, from observing what happens to other people when they say no. Fear of bodily harm, violence, or other consequences. In other words, in Georgia, you don't have to fight back for the defendant to be guilty of rape. You don't have to start a physical altercation and put your safety even more on the line in order for that person, the abuser, to be guilty of rape.
His closing is not that strong, man.
And against her will, or lack of consent. The Uber was waiting, she was leaving, she'd made up her mind. She testified at least 4 different times during the course of this trial that she did not want to have sex with the defendant. And that this is one of, if not the most important things the judge will tell you when she gives you the charge. I quoted it verbatim. If the victim submitted to sexual intercourse only because of fear or intimidation, then the sexual intercourse occurred without her consent. In Georgia, you can't bully somebody into sex and be innocent. I pause here because this doesn't necessarily mesh up with sort of our societal or what we've grown up or what is just sort of the concept of rape. We think of the stranger in the woods coming out. We think of awful stories we hear on the news of these stranger on stranger crimes and just horrible experiences that people have lived through and suffered. But that is rape. That is not the only kind of rape. If the victim submitted to sexual intercourse, if Janae submitted to sexual intercourse with this defendant only because of fear or intimidation, then that sexual intercourse.
They should have allowed the other woman to do clothing.
First of all, he don't even sound confident in what he's saying, and the fact that he keeps referencing these words on the screen, and he got like he don't know the law himself for sure. He just don't seem confident, and like these closing arguments, talk, get it out, wrap it up.
The woman to do closing.
So again, carnal knowledge, having sex, forcibly, for intimidation, substitutes for force. You don't have to fight back in Georgia for it to be rape, and against her will. You can't bully somebody into having sex with you and be innocent. What's not required, obviously physical injury, there doesn't need to be a fight again. There doesn't need to be an immediate outcry. That's not a requirement the law imposes.
Out of all the closing arguments, this is just the worst I've seen.
Folks to come years down the road and say something happened, that doesn't mean that case cannot be proven. Eyewitnesses, these crimes generally don't happen in front of eyewitnesses. If for no other reason, generally people do not have sex in front of other people, but certainly not non-consensual forced sex. If you believe the defendant raped Janae Newell, then find him.
Somebody said he's reciting facts. That is not what I'm talking about. Like, you can state facts and be like convincing, stern. You can be like, you can have conviction.
Exactly.
Like
he just doesn't seem confident. It's like you're reading the screen, so I can read the fucking screen.
Watch the YNW Melly trial, and even though I thought the attorney for YNW Melly, the white older guy, I thought he was like, I'm like, boy, bye, who believe in that? But it kept your attention. You know, he was telling you law, he was telling you facts on what he believed, he was telling you those things, and it was captivating, and it made you pay attention. This, you know, even sometimes when I'm multitasking, like I'm doing other things at the same time, like I can still, like, it'll keep my attention. Like this, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm listening to closing arguments. His delivery is not strong.
Period.
But yes, I will play it. But don't. No, I'm just kidding.
Guilty.
Oh, he's definitely going to prison. That nigga going to prison.
Bring it back a little bit.
That plexiglass wall. And then folks on that side, for the most part, the world out there is interested.
Oh, wait, did I bring it back too far?
Because the defendant, the Uber was waiting. She was leaving. She had made up her mind. She testified at least 4 different times during the course of this trial that she did not want to have sex with the defendant that night.
Damn.
And this is one of, if not the most important things the judge will tell you when she gives you this charge. I quoted it verbatim.
I used to listen to Melly, but when all of that shit popped off, with him killing his homeboys, and the way he looked in court, he looked like a demon. I had to let him go to the wake. Can't listen to his music no more. Because what he did was awful.
If the victim submitted to sexual intercourse only because of fear or intimidation, then the sexual intercourse
How many times are we gonna repeat this?
her consent. In Georgia, you can't bully somebody into sex and be innocent. I pause here because this doesn't necessarily mesh up with sort of our societal or what we've grown up or what Janae submitted to sexual intercourse with this defendant only. We'll then find him guilty. Count 1, rape. False imprisonment is charged in count 2. And I think it's not as straightforward or commonsensical of a charge than some crimes that we prosecute, but false imprisonment, the elements of that crime, the judge will tell you, are in violation of the liberty of another person, confining or detaining that person, and without legal authority. So we'll again take those one by one. Violation of the liberty of another person. The defendant wouldn't allow Janae to leave. And I want to pause here again for a second. In charging and proving false imprisonment in this case on these facts, what you've heard the last 2 weeks, the state is not alleging in the abstract that she was never allowed to leave the house. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying that she wasn't allowed to leave. We're saying in that moment, once she went up to that bedroom, he physically took hold of her and would not allow her to leave, even though she said, no, I have to leave. So many times she couldn't remember how many times. That's the moment of the false imprisonment. It's not this abstract idea that, well, she was so attached to the group, she wouldn't be allowed to.
I don't think it's a matter of him being one of us that he's facing that he's facing life with no parole. It's because he's being charged with rape. He's being charged with rape, and I believe he's also being charged with false imprisonment, aka kidnapping, and assault. So it's not just the one charge. Can you want to go outside?
What are you talking about?
You got a lot going on over there.
No, I don't. Watch it.
He's being charged with the alleged rape, alleged assault. I don't know how many counts of assault, but I'm about to assault somebody, I think. And false imprisonment.
It was, no, we are charging in that moment, in the room. She was not allowed to leave. And false imprisonment, there's no time element to it. The judge isn't going to tell you if you find that she's held for 30 seconds, or a minute, or 5 minutes, or 30 minutes, or an hour. There's no minimum amount of time. Because the injury is the violation to their liberty. People are allowed to come and go when they want.
Remember when Shireen and BS was at the IHOP, and BS bit bopped Shireen in the back of her head, and then sat on Shireen? That's considered kidnapping because you're keeping her from leaving. You're holding her somewhere she doesn't want to be. That was considered kidnapping.
Within the house they're living in. And he can't just hold her in the room because he wants that opportunity to convince her, or bully her, or badger her into getting what he wants. She had every right to leave. If she wanted to go upstairs and say goodbye and then walk right back down the stairs and leave, she can.
Go, get out.
But he didn't let her.
Get out.
Confines or detains that person. Again, he would not allow her to leave. That's the detaining. In this case, not allowing movement, not allowing her to exit that room. Remember the testimony that he closed the door. Kendra said they went into that room, the door closed. Janae said he closed the door, he was between me and the door. He was holding her. He would not allow her to leave. And without legal authority, so that applies more to like police officers. Obviously, they have legal authority to detain folks if there's probable cause that they committed a crime. Also, sometimes you get like the shoplifting situation where an employee of like Target sees someone taking something and they may have, under certain circumstances, legal authority to detain somebody. But there's nothing like that in this case. So if you believe the defendant, Alicia Bishop, would not let Janae leave the room that night, find him guilty of count 2, false imprisonment. I'm going to call count 3 through 5 the revenge porn statute. That's what it is. On the indictment, it's listed by its long name, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit.
I forgot about the revenge porn charge as well. So there's a revenge porn charge also. Now I think this one is going to get a little tricky. They were trying to get it thrown out, but I don't know if the jury is going to find him guilty on this one because of how it played out and them not really being able to. I thought they didn't really prove that he committed revenge porn.
And transmissions, it criminalizes the posting of revenge porn, so we'll call it revenge porn. It has a lot of elements, so follow along. Knowing the content of the transmission, so you know what you're posting, and we'll go through them again one by one. Without the consent of the depicted person, so the person shown in the video, electronically transmit causes the transmission, emission, or posting of a video depicting sexually explicit.
Yeah, they recorded a video, and he said she gave him permission to post the video on, social media as an educational video of some sort.
Conduct of an adult, no kids involved in this case, since they're having sex in the videos. The transmission is harassment, and it serves no legitimate purpose. Again, we'll take.
Wow.
Knowing the content of the transmission, again, there's no suggestion that anyone was unaware of what was in these. These were sex videos, and they were public. Without the consent of the depicted person. All right. The moment that matters is the moment it's posted online. All 3 of the videos that were body camera videos showing the Twitter video, I'm sure that you all remember having to watch those. They were all 3 posted on March 27th. She was not in the group or in any sort of contact with Mr. Bishop on March 27th. She did not give her, she testified over and over again, she did not give her consent for those videos to be posted on March 27th. Even if she consented to it being filmed. Even if someone, take it outside of this case for a second, even if someone sends an intimate photograph of themselves to a loved one, to a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, they end up, that relationship doesn't work out for whatever reason, but that person to whom that photograph was sent decides to post that photograph online. The question isn't, did the person who sent it consent back when they sent it originally, right? The question is, did that person, the supposed victim in that case, consent to ex-boyfriend uploading it to the internet? That's where the harm is. That's where the consent goes. It doesn't matter that she consented to that sex being filmed originally.
If I believe correctly, remember correctly, NATUREBOY's argument was that she gave him permission to post the video originally. When everything fell apart, he reposted the video, and that's what's being considered the revenge porn. Well, his lawyer was saying something about, even though it was posted, they couldn't prove that he was the one that posted it to the account, even though it was his Twitter account.
What matters is she didn't consent to being harassed by it and having folks be like, hey, did you go back to the group? Because I saw that you and Lee, you were back doing whatever. That's where the harassment comes in. Because now there's this confusion and there's just the humiliation and embarrassment that both Janae and Velvet had to describe of having that out there. I don't really even think there's much dispute here. There was not consent. There's really no hint of consent for these photo videos to be posted on March 27th.
Yeah, I think that's why he's harping on the date March 27th, because I believe she did give him permission to post the video originally, and I think it was taken down. And then when all of this stuff happened, he reposted the video, and that's why they're harping on the March 27th.
Electronically causes a video to be posted or transmitted. It's uploaded and shared on Twitter, which is an electronic message board, technically a website. It's an electronic means of transmitting something to other people. And causes, we asked pretty much all of the former members, did anything get posted on Mr. Bishop's account without him having caused it? And the answer was unanimous. No, he was in charge of that. Maybe Loyal and some other folks had, access and helped him out with his social media stuff, but he was the driving force. Nothing got posted without it having been caused by him. The video is obviously depicted sexually explicit conduct of an adult. I think also the harassment isn't really an issue because obviously she's harassed and there's really no other purpose for these videos to have been posted, especially of her just 3 days after she left. And you heard all his testimonies. So there's no legitimate purpose. This is an exception for if there's medical diagrams or teaching instruments, things of that nature that need to be shared for one reason or another, and there's some legitimate purpose for those images that otherwise may be sexual in nature. This wasn't for science. Alright, so on the counts 3 through 5, there's 3 different counts because there's 3 different videos. There are technically 4 posts, but 2 of them with the same videos, which are 3 different videos. They're separated in the indictment by their length. So 56 seconds, 28 seconds, and 1 minute and 8 seconds, that's what separates count 3 from count 4 from count 5. And there are 3 separate charges because there is a separate harm, there's a separate injury each time, there's a separate humiliation each time somebody posts a separate video.
Okay.
Do you believe the defendant caused the posting of these sex videos of Janae without her consent and with purpose to harass her and find him guilty, counts 3 through 5, for revenge porn?
Pass.
I forgot what he said when they made the statement about it being educational videos, but he did give a reason behind it, but I forgot what he said.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for the first part. Mr. Booker will address the comment.
Thank you.
So as you guys hear, for each video that was posted, there's separate charges. So it must have been 3 different videos. So the life sentence with no parole, and you have all of these charges, stuff adds up.
Go ahead and plug in.
So far, I feel like Booker gonna do a better closing than that. He got a demonstrative. He got a little,
All right, so let me screenshot where I'm at. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this live up, you guys, and we'll pick that back up later. Thank you guys for joining me and watching with me. Y'all have a great evening. Shout out to my moms. If they're in blue, they're for you. If they're in gray, they just might be okay. So I'll post some links. I'll post some links on the community wall for Etsy and whatnot, and I will see y'all later.